Good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we today? It's a little chilly over here. I'm off to LAX, and I read a couple of articles yesterday, got some updates on the AB5, was reading multiple articles about Lyft, and I said to myself, you know what, in the morning when I head out to LAX, I'm going to make a video. For those who just entered the room, very good morning to you. Now, let me start off with Lyft. Tennessee's in the house. Good. I won't always be looking at the screen as I'm driving, but I will check in periodically. Hello everyone. Good morning, Tim. How are you, Alfredo? So, Uber got a nice little spike, right, with their stock. They went up considerably from sort of mid-30s to low 40s. I mean, way more than 10%. And that's basically because Derek Kay came out, did make some very, very big promises that he'll have to keep now, saying that they would be profitable by year's end. Lyft didn't do that, didn't blow its horn. But again, accordingly, the markets reacted. Lyft is not doing that great. But I don't think it's just because Lyft didn't go out and make any big promises. I think Lyft's problem is far, far larger. Now, Uber, I don't know how many cities they're in, but they're certainly in a lot of cities in a lot of countries. They've opened up all of those territories. And if you think of it, Lyft could march in. I mean, they have the money, you know, the work has been done, the foundation has been laid. They just have to go in and build the walls, right? They have to go in and build their offices in these various cities. I have no idea why Lyft hasn't entered the European market or the African market, Australia, New Zealand. They're certainly wasting a lot of time. So if they want to really build this company, and if they want to show investors that they're growing, they are going to have to make a move. I mean, if I was the CEO, I would announce, hey, we're going into Europe, right? Or we're kicking off in Australia, or we're kicking off in New Zealand. But that's what I think the investors want to hear. They're not hearing it. Lyft is just flying below the radar, letting Lyft and Uber are definitely working together on that. There's no doubt about it. You know, they are together scheming out ways how they can battle AB5. But, you know, Lyft keeps a low profile. And, you know, the longer you keep a low profile, that's pretty much the message you're sending to investors and to the public. You know, we really don't have any intentions of growing. We can't show you that we're growing because we haven't even opened up another city, another market, right? Another country, another international city. It's just not happening. Another huge mistake that I think Lyft made and Uber made it to a certain extent. I mean, that's why I think Uber showed $100 million less in losses this quarter, is that that Lyft pretty much cut off all the referrals. I don't get a single in US cities. I keep on referring overseas. No one pays for overseas referrals unless you have a representative there. But Lyft has cut off those referrals. And the way I look at it, the biggest marketing machine, they're basically shooting themselves in the biggest marketing machine because drivers bring drivers. Let's be very, very clear about that, right? You going out there marketing your referral codes for Lyft, you bringing in drivers. But by them cutting off, you know, that $200 that you could possibly earn there for a referral, that $300 there, that $50 there, the $10 there, sometimes $500-$700. They cut it all off. And sure, yeah, they've reduced their marketing costs by a lot, but they're not growing, right? In fact, they're going backward. They're having major difficulties recruiting drivers. And I know a lot of drivers just removed their referral codes. Hey, if you're not getting referrals, if you're not getting paid for referrals by Lyft, why refer? They're using those links just as Uber is to get a lot of free referrals, right? We're doing work, we're doing the social media marketing for them, and they're not paying out anymore. Now, Uber sort of did it half. What they did is they cut back on a lot of cities. There are still specific cities where you can refer a driver, market yourself, market your codes, and get paid. Chicago, LA, Orange County, Vegas, a handful of cities, right? So those people referring new drivers, Uber drivers referring new drivers, are getting paid for some cities. Not all, just for some cities. I had that conversation with Dustin. I know Dustin's also a big referrer, and I've also had that conversation with other top referrers. But Uber's still getting some drivers into the pipeline because yes, they have reduced the cities, yes, they have reduced their marketing, yes, they have reduced their spending, but in certain big cities, they are still paying out. Lyft has literally cut off its legs. So you will not see any growth from Lyft unless they go out there and devise some genius marketing plan that works, inexpensive marketing plan, bringing in drivers. I don't see that happening. Drivers bring drivers. So if they want to keep it realistic across the board, I would refer for every city, right? Doesn't mean that they have to pay out some astronomical referral dollars for certain cities, but it's hurting their marketing, right? Lyft is certainly struggling in the marketing department. Lyft is certainly struggling in the growth department, right? They're just not growing cities, and then you're just not bringing drivers on board. And that's why I think the Lyft stock is behaving so poorly. That's my opinion, just looking at it from a street point of level. Now, the good news, AB5 here in California, which we're battling for rights, we're battling for better pay, for better rights for all drivers worldwide. It's being played out here in California. The judges, I believe the federal judges, slapped Uber down in a ruling a few days ago. And the case will move on, which puts tremendous pressure on Uber to, I'm sure they're going to appeal, but it starts putting on tremendous pressure on Uber that their legal strategy is not working, and that they will have to sit down with the state of California. And it is my opinion, and I always use this example, right? You don't want to be an employer. Many people don't. You want to be a true independent contractor. Accept and decline trips as often as you wish. Decide not to drive to a specific area if you don't want to go in that direction. Take a trip if you believe they're paying you the right price. A true independent contractor should be able to call the shots, decide, whether he or she will pass on a $2 or $3 trip. My campaign that I'm supporting, we ignore under 4, at 5 we drive, right? So that's what a true independent contractor is. You set your own rules, your schedule, you make the decisions, you make the big decisions. The technology platform, or the software platform as they call themselves, just provides the trip. But you as the true independent contractor decide. They want to call you a true independent contractor, but they don't act like it, right? They're not giving you the privileges of a true independent contractor. So the way I see the battle going right now, with being slapped down in the courts just recently, Uber, DoorDash, and a few others taking the first step by suing California, I would say they will meet exactly in the middle. It's all negotiating a whole set of new gig laws, right? That is how I see this going down. No other way. And I see it as a big victory over what was before, right? Because before they even allowed you to decline or accept, I mean, we were just being manipulated left, right, and center by the algorithms. You got to watch my video that I'm putting out at 5 p.m. today, and I'm putting out another video at 10 a.m. that, you know, once you start declining, and this is specifically in California, it's interesting that they set up this machine to circumvent AB5, right, by allowing you to decline and accept. But once you decline, which, you know, the app allows you to do now, and you as an independent contractor should be free to do anyway, right? They then come around and said, hey, you've been declining too often. You've been more or less prejudiced against certain destinations. You know, be careful, we'll give you a timeout. I'm doing a video about this tomorrow. And that to me is a form of retaliating against the driver, showing them, hey, we will punish you if you misuse our accept or decline buttons, right? Which we, again, as independent contractors should have absolute 100% freedom to choose and accept as we wish, when we wish, as often as we wish, right? But they think, has anybody got that screenshot? I did, where you decline, and the next thing you get say, hey, be careful. Too many declines could lead to lesser rides, right? So they're using the screenshot to try and punish us. I see it as a form of retaliation. San Diego, right, I just saw you there, pro. Hey, are you coming to the party on February the 23rd? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So when you decide to decline a couple of times, right, Thomas? And this is now in California. I'll show you the screenshot. They come out with this punishment screenshot. Now, I sent those screenshots and evidence to the defense attorneys of California, showing them that, hey, they're pretending to comply by doing this accept or decline option to circumvent your AB5. But on the other side, they think they're going to punish us, right? So giving what I believe the defense attorneys, or the attorneys like, what's her name? Lyft and Riordan. She's in Boston. She's the heaviest hitter of them all. By giving them this ammunition, you allow the attorneys to weaponize themselves against Uber. You're giving them really, really good proof, right, from your phone. And I highly, highly encourage you to share that proof with these law firms, right, that are battling it out with Uber and Lyft. Because Uber and Lyft on the one side think that they can do and say as they wish, pretend they're complying, but on the other hand, they're retaliating and punishing. Attorneys such as Lyft and Riordan, they need to see this evidence, right? The California defense team that is fighting Uber and Lyft in the courts on the AB5 issue, they need to see how Tony West behaves. They need to see who Tony West is. They need to hold up the mirror to Tony West. And I'm going to try and summarize in this one sentence. Tony West and Uber devise strategies and online game plans with their engineers to circumvent AB5, right? And if you do not accept, or put it this way, if you decline their new methods too often that they created to cheat the system, the method that they created to cheat the system, if you decline that or try and say no, they turn around and punish you. Just follow that chain of thought. I explained it in a lot of detail in today's and tomorrow's video. I want to say, Thomas, thank you. If you haven't subscribed to him, go to him. San Diego Rideshare Pro. I hope to see you on February the 23rd. There'll be a lot of YouTubers there, right? We're going to have a lot of fun. Food, drinks, music, and meeting good people. And someone, I didn't see the name there, but says Uber sucks these days. The problem now with Uber is that they made massive promises to investors, to Wall Street, to the market watchers, that they will be profitable by year's end, by the fourth quarter. And look, they're going to have to shave off $600 and something million loss that they made in this quarter. You're going to say that within a year you're going to be profitable. It's a huge promise. It's a huge promise. And the only way that Derek Kay can deliver on that promise, if he cuts fares, you know, they are certainly not increasing the rates with passengers. Why? Because they just want to stay competitive with Lyft, right? They have a little bit of a price war going on. They cannot in any way, shape or form do price fixing, because they would get slammed if they would. I mean, they would literally get some hefty fines if anybody found out that Uber and Lyft was price fixing, working together on the pricing, right? But what they do is they lower the bar, the other one lowers the bar, discounts, lowers, discounts, and ultimately the rider, the passenger, is getting the cheapest of the cheapest fare for 5-star service. So the only options they have to cut back are on marketing, referral dollars, right? And cutting back our rates, taking more from us. Exactly, I agree with the statement that was just made. So, you know, again, today, this morning, I'm sharing my opinions here. Told you basically why I think Lyft is not doing well in the stock market. They're not showing growth. They're not showing the investors that they are going or have the ambition to go into other countries, other international cities. Nothing's happening. They're stalling. And then the other thing is that Lyft is not paying out anymore on referral dollars. So drivers are not bringing drivers, period. They're removing those codes, right? Lyft drivers are not bringing Lyft drivers, period. And I've spoken to many people about this, right? My Lyft referral pond has dried up because they just are not paying out for those cities, and hence they're not getting any drivers, and hence they're not growing. So their marketing, Lyft's marketing right now, they don't have a marketing plan. They have no plan whatsoever, right? They don't seem to have a plan to grow internationally, and they certainly don't have a marketing plan. And I think the investors are seeing that, and the public is seeing that, and hence their stock is behaving poorly. Again, as far as AB5, I think we are, I think this would be, going forward, this is a great thing that the courts slap down Uber's argument to try and fight AB5. It'll truly force these two, the state and these rideshare companies, to negotiate and meet in the middle. It'll happen. I've said this over a year ago, and I'll say it again and again and again. We're on our way to some sort of new gig law where you're going to be sort of a hybrid between an employee and an independent contractor, right? They will not get away with 100% independent contractor status. It's just not going to happen. And I don't think California is going to get away with trying to brand the individual, the driver, as a full-on employee. They are going to create a new law which will see more benefits. I think what Uber is trying to do is trying to get this beyond 2020 into 2021, because they've made massive promises, big promises for 2020, which they're going to have to keep. If they lose this AB5 battle or look weak this year, it's going to impact their stock big time, right? But they will hash out a deal in California, and the moment they hash out a deal in California, all the other states are going to say, hey, you know what? California is starting to see some money. They managed to work something out with Uber and Lyft. Now we need to follow suit. And I can really see Texas, Florida, and all of those states following suit. But they're all monitoring, they're watching, before they jump in and start attacking Uber. Let's see how it plays out in California. And what Tony West and the Uber crew and the legal crew are doing, let's see what we can do for now by changing the app around to show that we're sort of semi-compliant, that we are treating you as independent contractors. They're not treating you as true independent contractors. They're giving you the ability to accept or decline trips, to accept or decline going to a certain area because you know the destination, you know the price, so you can accept that price or not. And I personally asked all the drivers to decline under 4 or less we decline, under 4 we ignore, over 5 we drive. And if you are declining a couple of times, Thomas correctly said it, I've seen the screenshots myself. The boycotts, the strikes, the protests are the next wave, my friends. Somebody just said, and that will come. That will come. What's the pay rate for Uber per mile per minute? That truly varies city by city, state by state, country by country. Some of these guys in Amsterdam, I've been communicating with them, they're getting 40 cents a kilometer. 40 cents a kilometer. It's atrocious. You cannot live off those type of earnings. I had 15 of those type of canceled trips happen to me. Yeah. So they send you a screenshot. They say they're treating you like an independent contractor. They say that in California, for example, and the example that I'm sharing, the screenshot in my next video is from California. You can decline or accept. They say, that's your decision, but God forbid you decline too often. They then start threatening you and threatening with retaliation, right? And attorneys need to know this. So February the 23rd, Long Beach, 793 Redondo Boulevard. Please come in, meet all your fellow rideshare driver friends. Let's get photos together. I'll be inviting press down there, the media, and we'll have food, we'll have drinks, we'll have a couple of vendors there, and a lot of free information. I want you to leave 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. knowing, hey, I had some fun, I danced a little bit, I got some exercise, getting into the car maybe for the Sunday shift, whether you're coming from San Diego, Palm Springs, Orange County, LA, Santa Barbara, Ventura, come join us, right? Thank you for sharing that info. We can get some thumbs up on the video. Have a lot of good content coming out in the next few days because there's just so much, right? Did you guys see the video of the driver that had road rage and chased down another driver, right? And they had a couple, an African-American couple in the back, and they were begging this guy, please drive slow, please drive slow. But this guy was so fixated on getting revenge against another car. He was screaming through traffic. I believe he even hit cars, right? I believe this driver even hit cars. Well, he has multiple charges against him now. The lady was smart enough to call 911 while they were driving. She said, we're in a car, it's an Uber driver, He's got road rage. He's chasing down another car. He's already, and eventually, I don't know how the car stopped, whether the police slowed him down. I don't know that. I'd like to find that out, or whether the passengers in the back actually managed to talk him down and he stopped. But this guy was so another car down. Maybe that car cut him off. Whatever that other car did, I would like to know. It doesn't justify screaming through traffic at an insane speed with your rideshare riders, passengers in the back. Did you guys see that one? Hi, Bella. He got hit. David, how are you? Joining the conversation, welcome. Got this lady behind me, she's in her little mini. She has the top down, big frizzy hair, enjoying the sunshine on her face with her shades, acting all ultra cool. And she's tailgating me. She's trying to zip through very busy traffic. You ain't going nowhere, girl, because it's bumper to bumper, right? So yeah, did you guys see that video? It's been on a couple of channels. I saw it on CNN. I saw it on a couple of other channels. They show this video of this Uber driver going absolutely insane through traffic, chasing another car down. And it's filmed live, right? It's filmed. The video is filmed from the perspective of the rider in the back. I hope we don't have any trolls in the house. I can't see anybody saying there's a troll there, so please, while I'm driving, keep it clean. I'd hate to have to disconnect you after the live feed. Let's not do that. Roy, how are you? Good day to you. Bumper to bumper, fighting my way through to LAX. This is not a fun time to drive, folks. It starts slowing down really after 10 a.m. Sadly, I think it was here in my home state of Maine. Really? Okay, get us more info. I want to know how the driver was ultimately stopped. I mean, did he hit a car and crash and couldn't go any further? Did the police chase him down? But man, I was just watching the footage from the back. Can you? I swear it wasn't me. I don't expect it to be you, right? He ran so many red lights and then he got hit. Thanks, Roy, for sharing that. I did not know that. I just saw that. Can you imagine how petrified the Uber and Lyft, the Uber husband, wife were sitting in the back? Can you imagine how petrified they were? And I think she even got a little bit injured during the accident. I mean, massive lawsuit coming the driver's way and Uber's way. Massive, massive lawsuit. And it's caught on camera. Yes, he was hit a second time. Wow, that is crazy. That is nuts. Eh? I just saw him flying through red lights, and the passengers in the back that were filming this say, sir, please, please. I mean, they're petrified, right? This guy screaming through the streets, jumping red lights. I mean, you literally, it's a matter of life and death. You either get through that red light and you don't get hit, or somebody hits you in the intersection, you kill someone else, you kill your passengers. I mean, I can completely understand the fear in these people's hearts, in their minds. Junkyard mechanic, I'm not sure why YouTube retracted your message. Must have been something you said. He probably just lost it. I mean, he had full on road rage to the max, right? He just went berserk. He just gave chase. I will hunt you down. Thank you for voting for me. Thank you, California. I will hunt you down. I will terminate you. I will absolutely terminate you. That was his attitude. Looks like it was in Virginia. Damn, those Virginia drivers. I never knew they had road rage in Virginia. I could really see something like this happening in LA. And I've seen road rage with my own two eyes here in LA. Basically, yeah, he should be up for kidnapping, right? Because that is a form of kidnapping. You're taking the people and you are basically going against their wishes. Please stop, we want to get out. No, I'm going on. That's kidnapping. Going against their wishes, right? Taking them forcefully. Any good union efforts underway? You know what? It's a hard one. There are unions out there that are not doing well, and they're trying to capitalize on this rideshare movement. They're trying to capitalize on the frustrations of the drivers, and that's how they're enrolling people. But I don't see any organically grown rideshare union that truly wants to build a union around rideshare drivers. I see this more as older unions trying to reinvent themselves to try and enroll angry and frustrated drivers. So it's hard for me, knowing a lot of facts, and I have a lot of very good, reliable input from outsiders, to put my weight behind one specific brand. These guys, Rideshare Drivers United or whatever, I gave them a platform. They were supposed to send me topics and send me the names of people. I gave them my platform and said, I will do live feed with you. They promised to send me all these topics. They promised to send me these professors that they knew, and they did not deliver. So, once bitten, twice shy. They will not get another voice on my platform. So I was communicating with two people in San Diego, and they screwed up big time. They really did. They should have seized the moment. They should have used my platform. I invited them in. They said they had good topics to talk about. They did not email me. They did not email me with the topics. They did not email me with the names. And I'm not going to go chasing after these people in San Diego. Here I am. I built this platform. Dustin's built this platform. Harry's built this platform. Simple Drivers built this platform. So you can pick and choose who comes on your show, right? On your talk show, right? And I gave them that invite. I gave them that opportunity. And I'm sure many other YouTubers would have followed suit. And I was promised a lot of good topics and a lot of good people. They threw names about we have a professor, we have this lawyer. Nothing happened. So I was really disappointed with that. I really was. And I believe the people were from San Diego. I gave them a lot of exposure, but they should have followed through. So as far as AB5 goes, hang in. They are going to send you message after message after message, and they are going to try and get you to enroll and put your name down on a ballot for November. Don't fall for the cheap tricks. Don't fall for the baiting tricks. Because, they're just trying to bait you, and then they're going to switch the whole thing anyway against you, right? And they are using you to get their benefits through, right? They're using your name, your word, your email, your last name to benefit them. So don't sign any of these damn petitions, people. And shame on the people out there who are out there pimping themselves out for $3 or $4 a signature. That's what Uber does. They pay for the shills. They pay these shills so that they get votes. They pay for their votes. They cannot get organic, real votes. They have to pay, right? And we got to fight them every single step of the way. And I'm really liking the way the California lawsuit is going. They did get slapped down by the courts, and they will be forced to negotiate with California. And mark my words, I said this a year ago, we will have a hybrid. We will have something in the middle will be announced where There will not be one big true winner, Uber, or one big true winner, California. It's going to be a bit of a win for California, a bit of a win for the companies Uber and Lyft, and it'll also be a win. Mark my words, it'll also be a win for drivers. We have to create a win-win-win situation. Win the state or the country, win the company, win the driver, right? So no matter where you stand on this issue, whether you don't want to be an employee, if you want to be an independent contractor, if you right now in your mind, you think you are a true independent contractor, you're not. The only thing you can do right now still is choose when you want to drive, where you want to drive, right? And with which company you want to drive. But you don't have the power in most of the states, except for California, to decline and accept a trip, to decide, no, I'm not going those 3 miles. I want a 20-mile trip, right? So right now, you may think you are an independent contractor, and I hear a lot of drivers say, wow, I want to remain an independent contractor. You are not an independent contractor in the true sense of the word, right? You're not. You have independency, a lot of it, but you are not independent. You're not a true IC. Ain't an IC, baby. We're going to push it more towards true independent contractorship, right? We're going to reinforce those two words, independent contractor, and give it more value, more power. So you can accept. I want to see drivers in Houston, Texas accept or decline a trip. I want to see a guy in Miami, Florida saying, I'm not going to take that trip because it's $3. I want to see someone in Denver, Colorado saying, you know what? That trip over there, I'm not taking it. Right? We need to be treated as true independent contractors, right? Our pay needs to get better. The way we get the pay better is we just don't accept these BS little twosies and threesies. And I'm super, super proud of the people that are sticking together. You saw my last video where I got a report from a driver that multiple drivers, not illegal, were just saying nope. They were saying no to the $2 and $3 trips. Nope. 8 drivers right there in an area. Nope, not taking it, not taking it. Right, and that forces higher prices. That forces the prices to go up. You, at that moment, you're acting as a true independent contractor, right? At that moment, you're exercising your rights that you will absolutely not drive for $2 or $3. And the benefits are, you know, the market starts regulating itself, the price starts going up, and maybe the people started driving for $5 because it started surging a little bit. It's not an artificial surge, as we experienced maybe a year ago in one of the states at one of the traffic is insane. I've been declining those little teasers. Good. I've noticed as soon as I do that, I don't get calls for at least a couple hours. But which 4 or 5, just before Haskell Avenue. LA drivers will know it. The Lakers, another great game. LeBron James, triple-double. They won in overtime. Who did they play? I believe it was against Denver, right? Great game. February the 24th, one day after the rideshare party, Kobe Bryant will be given a memorial service. Him and his daughter have already been buried, officially buried, was announced yesterday. I haven't seen that. I find that after declining a couple of days, I get a nice fat ride. That's what I want to see. Is that in California? That is exactly the language that I want to see. You know, decline those crappy ones. If we work together and decline all those little crappy ones, it forces the price up because the rider is left. Yeah, Roy Watka says you've been punished. And that punishment is a form of Uber or Lyft retaliation. Take them together with, she's in Boston. She's the heaviest hitter. She has been fighting Uber and Lyft for 6 years, successfully fighting them, getting big settlements. Shannon, I think, Riordan is the law firm in Boston. It's in the link in my next video. Check out for it, right? Send her these type of screenshots where you think that the company is retaliating against you. Goal that we laugh daily, right? We share jokes, we laugh daily. It's got to be a daily goal to put a smile on somebody else's face. I like that. Give us a thumbs up. I'm trying to get out of this patchy zone here. I'm right by the 101 and 405. It is literally crawling. I mean, I could scream around the outside and try to cut in, but I don't want to do that while I'm live streaming. So why do I think Lyft is behaving this poorly on the stock market? Well, firstly, Lyft has not shown any of the investors, Lyft has not shown the public, the market, Wall Street, the ability to grow, right? They've stagnated, they haven't opened up any other international city, they haven't opened up another country, they haven't grown in Canada. In fact, their growth has completely stopped. Why? Because they made the crazy mistake to cut into their biggest marketing machine and literally stop the referrals. When a driver refers another driver, that is the only form of marketing that works, right? Their billboards, their posters, their TV ads do not bring in new drivers. You have to, drivers have been trained that you get incentivized. Thank you, I appreciate it. San Diego rideshare driver. Drivers have been incentivized to bring in other drivers. Both sides expect to get paid. That is your marketing strategy. And if you shut off that marketing strategy overnight, you don't grow, you go backwards, right? Uber, on the other hand, they were paying pretty decent referrals for many cities, and then they shut down about 3/4 of their cities. I still had a conversation with Dustin about this, right? They're only paying out in a handful of cities. So your codes, to a certain extent, your referral codes are still working to a certain extent. They are no longer working with Lyft. People are taking down their Lyft referral codes. Why should you refer a driver for free to Lyft? They're not paying you for that city, right? You've gone out there, you've set up your blogs, your social media, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, and you have all those codes out that you created over the last 2-3 years, but they're not paying you, right? So take them down. Take them down. If they're not paying you, taking them down, right? Uber, pretty smart. Maybe 1/3 of the cities, they still pay you out. So your referral links have some value, right? You're not getting paid for 2/3 of the city, but they are steadily still growing. If these companies really want to grow, you got to go back to your referral day. Out a driver referring another driver pays a decent amount. It doesn't have to be an astronomical amount, but you got to show the driver that you want him to keep on marketing for the company. That's the only way you're going to keep on growing as Uber and Lyft. Lyft made a insane mistake by cutting that off. Thank you. Great car deal. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for rent. Sunland, California. Good. Drop the link in there. Drop it in. Thank you so much for the contribution. I appreciate you. So, with Lyft not showing any growth in international cities, international countries, the market, the investors, they're not drivers, but we figured this shit out for them. They just don't see any movement by Lyft, so it's going backwards. And the other part of my live feed, for those who just came in, I was talking about AB5, and we're making great progress here. The court slapped Uber down in a ruling 2 days ago, right? They're allowing this case to move forward. Uber is scared, right? And they will negotiate. California and Uber will negotiate, right? Because the one thing that Uber does not want is to lose this lawsuit and have every California driver, potentially every US driver, be classified as an employee. That would be the downfall of Uber and Lyft if every driver was categorized as an employee. We need new gig worker laws. We need a hybrid. We need a new payments. We need something in between IC, independent contractor, and employer. And this is exactly where I see it going. They will meet in the middle. They will negotiate something, hopefully still this year, right? And if they can negotiate something that is a win for the state, a win for Uber, and a win for the drivers, watch that stock break out. That stock will take off, right? So, not sure what Derek Kay's long-term plan is, if he has one, but he's made big promises for 2020, saying that we will be profitable by the end of the year. The sooner he can get this AB5 thing sorted out with California, the sooner the stock, this cloud still hangs over the rideshare industry. And if Uber and Lyft think they're going to beat the states on this one, they won't. The states have the power over the licensing. The states want to see money. You don't pay them the money, they will not give you the honey. And Uber CEOs should know this, right? It's all, CEOs should know how to negotiate deals. CEOs should not mobilize armies of attorneys thinking they will always win, because you could lose big time. So if you're a good CEO, you negotiate good deals, right? So the sooner Derek Kay, Logan Green, John Zimmer can negotiate with California, can negotiate with Texas, Florida, with all these states, New Jersey, New York, the better for the state, the better for the company, the better for the driver. That's my opinion, right? And I said this a year ago, mark my words. Here you've got the IC, the independent contractor, them fighting here. Here you have the state coming in wanting employeeship. They will come up with a new law, meet in the middle. It'll be a hybrid law. It'll be a new written gig worker law, the first ever in California. That's my prediction. And pretty good when it comes to predictions. Much love. Daryl, Howard, how are you? Much love to you. To everyone in the room, much love. Share the love, share the jokes, share the smiles. I'm on 28 thumbs up. Give me 2 more, please. What's up from the Orange County Nightjackers? I saw him at LAX the other day. Briefly, came on my side. Hey, bro, how are you? We're like bam, 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 back and forth through the window. I love it. Next time we meet, lunch is on me or coffee, wherever. If I see drivers on the street and they come up to me, I say, hey, let's go have lunch. Let's have coffee. In LA, I like it, Haley. How are you? Come down to the party. February the 23rd, February the 23rd, February the 23rd. What time? Noon till 5 p.m., noon till 5 p.m., noon till 5 p.m. What address? 793 Redondo Boulevard, 793 Redondo Boulevard, 793 Redondo Boulevard. What's going to be happening? Meeting, greeting, networking, dancing, food, drinks, laser lights, loud music, couple of short little speeches, YouTubers sharing with the world. You know, I'm gonna invite the media and newspapers down. They don't usually show up at parties. They usually show at protests and rallies. This is not a protest and rally. This is a fun thing. You know, we're not striking or protesting on that day. Sure, we will be sending messages, and these YouTubers can interview you guys, so you're in live streams. I will interview a lot of drivers. You can share your opinions. You can say hello to Derek Kay. You can send John Zimmer your love. You can send Tony West your love. You can send Logan Green your love. You can send Derek Kay your love from the party. Where am I right now? I'm at 4 or 5 going upwards towards Skirball. I'm running with the Ubers of the night. I like it. Running the wind. Isn't there a song? Pat Benatar, good singer. I'm right here. If the LA drivers know where I am, with my Lakers hat, driving past Skirball. We've got another video coming out at 5 p.m. today, at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Those are 2 videos you should watch. Any music requests, put them in for the party so we can get those songs. If you're going to be there, right? If you're actually going to be there, by all means, put in a song request. For those people who are going to be at the February 23rd party in Long Beach, put in your music request if you're going to be there, so I can put it in the texting girl. She's texting while driving. Bad Range Rover girl. Bella, you can be there in mind and spirit, okay? We'll keep you there in mind and spirit on the day. I totally understand if you stay far away. But hey, we can always bring the party to you. I'm going to bring the party to Vegas. I'm going to be bringing the party to Scottsdale. A couple of places this year. Yes, yes, yes. To my left and right, Bel Air. Nice zip code, expensive zip code. Love is a battlefield. Uber is a battlefield. Lyft is a battlefield. Girl still texting. Bad LA driver. When is Lyft going to make the changes Uber already has? Lyft ain't going to do nothing. Lyft is hiding behind Uber. And I'm pretty sure, well, they've already collectively, they've pooled money, right? $90 million. So they're fighting this battle together. Uber and Lyft are fighting this battle together against the state. So for them right now, they're just not going to comply. They will have to comply the moment a new gig worker law is passed. And I'm sure they have all the engineers who have written the code already. So this accept decline option in California, I'm sure they have it already. Lyft has it. I'm sure it already exists. And if they're forced to switch over, they will have to do so. But for now, you know what? Lyft is doing so much damage to their driver base by saying, you know what, screw you, California drivers. We're not going to comply with this. Uber is more in the limelight. Uber is really trying to protect their stock price, their share price. And Uber is at least trying to get into the media and show, hey, we are semi-complying, which they are with this accept decline, option. But you decline too often in California, they start sending you threatening messages. So the system that they put in place to circumvent, to skirt AB5, on the other hand, what they created there, they're going to punish you for if you basically use it, right? If you decline in California, watch the message they send you. I'm going to put it on the video. I think it comes today or tomorrow. Watch the message that Uber sends out in California. Go Lakers! Yeah, Steven, they're on a roll, baby. I think they've won 40. James was on fire last night. I see James's kids once in a while, Bonnie, up at Sierra Canyon at the school, because I pick up kids for clients that have children at Sierra Canyon, the lower school and the middle school, so I pick up there. And once in a while I see them there. They have to win the championship for Kobe. Amen. I love what you just said. Thank you. They have to win the championship. I think that's what James is trying to do, which he is doing. And I think that is how James motivates his team. We have to win this for Kobe. We have to win every game for Kobe. I love your thinking there. Thank you for sharing that. I'm a die-hard Kobe fan. I've met him. I drive his business partners. Still do. His business partners are devastated. She drive Kobe's business partners on coming tomorrow. Tomorrow. I drive them to LAX. Tomorrow. I thought it was next Friday. It's Friday. Tomorrow already. So I'm a die-hard Kobe fan. Cannot believe a 41-year-old dies. Poor Vanessa, his wife. When someone passes away, you go through different stages of grief. It's a fact, right? Shock, not accepting the outcome, moving on into the angry phase. You're angry with the world. Why did they have to take my daughter? Why did they have to take my husband? So she admits on Twitter that he's in the anger phase. She's going through her grieving phases. I went through all of those phases when my dad died at 49. Awesome father. Loved him. Great dad. I model all my parenting around my dad's way. 49 years old when he passed away. But I remember myself shock, not accepting, anger phase, really angry at the world. And acceptance, semi-acceptance, still never really accept the fact. And then just holding that person in love, in that state of love forever, wherever they are in the universe, smiling down on us, right? So it's really sad to lose. If anyone has lost a loved one, a brother or a sister, mother or a father, anyone that's close to you, many a times grandmothers and grandfathers might even be closer to you than your own parents because they took care of you. So losing a loved one. How are you, Luke? How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for stepping in. In this video, we've gone in a couple of different directions, but we basically covered why, in my opinion, why I think Lyft is doing so poorly and why I think we are winning the AB5 battle. I love what you do for the rideshare community. I've used your tips when I used to drive. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. That makes me feel great. That's validation, right? So gratitude from me to you for that validation. Thank you. It's nice doing this and getting the emails that I get and the feedback. It's a wonderful thing. Spending the time with an individual on the phone, helping them. Maybe they're stuck somewhere in a rut, in a hamster wheel, helping them get out of it by helping them break the pattern, mixing it up, changing it up. It's a good feeling. And then hopefully always the results, the outcomes are positive, right? If you make the change, I hope it goes in that direction. I hope for you that it is a positive change. It has a positive outcome, heads off in a positive direction. And that sometimes means you have to be willing to change the formula of it. My husband, man, could travel. Oh, cool. Thank you. Awesome. Oh man, now you're bringing tears. I'll give you the... Yep, you're a parent, you understand. With you. You understand what I'm talking about. Painful. It is. You know, when I was down there the first 2 days, I was crying a lot. I really was, because I was thinking, this could have happened to me. I'm a parent. I'm 50 years old. I'm only, 9 years older than Kobe. Could happen to me. I could not imagine my world without my Ryan, my Dylan, or my fiance's kids, which I love equally, right? Or could not imagine something happening to my fiance. It would devastate me. .66 Fahrenheit right here on the west side. Exit here, Sunset Boulevard. For those of you who have not been on Sunset Boulevard, it's really nice driving sort of from Hollywood down Sunset Boulevard all the way right down to the coast, PCH. And hits the coast, that's where Sunset ends. It's a great drive, very, very windy drive. Through Brentwood, through the Pacific Palisades, through Westwood, past UCLA, past Beverly Hills, right up into Hollywood. It's a long, long drive from PCH on Sunset all the way through to Hollywood.